Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 22 of All Caps. I'm Isaac Anderson, the author of A Song of Bones in the Garden Maze. I'm joined by my co-host, Tim McKay, the author of The Fall of Selvandrea. And our very special guest today is Eamonn? Eamonn, correct? Eamonn?
We've talked
Whichever
about
one
this
you want.
before. Yeah.
Eamonn Bradley, the author of The Veil and The Ranger. He's here today to talk about some scary books.
Very good to have you on, Eamon. Thanks for joining us. We've been chatting back and forth
Thanks
for a
having
while.
me.
So yeah, so how you doing? Sounds like you're at the end of a long day, lots of writing, lots of work, few drinks.
Yeah, not too bad. I'm just relaxing now with a beer after work. And I finish about 4, as I said, every day, 3, 4, half 3, 4. By the time I get home, then straight on to writing for a couple of hours, 2, 3 hours, and then either have a beer or read or get some sleep.
Beer a few.
Get some sleep because it's a long day, you know, on a building site and then coming home writing for 3 hours. But hey, it's got to be done.
Fair.
So you're one of the co-creators of the Dark Veil Society.
Yeah.
When did that happen? Is this a new thing?
Yeah, it
Relatively
happened.
new.
Huh?
Oh,
Yeah, it
sorry.
was.
I just said, yeah, relatively new. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said I'm on mute.
Oh, no,
No,
you're good.
I was part of Secret Scribes. You had Rob on a few months ago, or a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
last year, and I realized that fantasy is not what I'm primarily going to be. I'd rather, horror is more and suspense and that kind of thing is more what I want to write. So I just left there and said goodbye to the guys, kind of thing, and I knew that I wanted to set up something and try and collect as much kind of indie horror writers together as we could. Well, like there's about 18 of us now, so we're settled for now because we've got big plans for the future before we take anyone else on. But I got talking to Molly, and before I just knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't have a name or anything like that. So we got chatting, and I asked her did she wanted to create something with me, and put the idea to her, and she was up for it. And we spoke about it, and then she actually came up with the name because she'd released Dark Bloom, and I was still finishing off the Veil. So she said, "Why not the Dark Veil Society?" And I went, "Yep, that'll do." We didn't even argue. It didn't take long to find the name. I thought, no, that's perfect. That works.
See, my immediate thought, knowing both of you were the co-founders, was, "Hey, Dark Bloom and the Veil. It can't be that simple, can it?" And
I think she actually did a post a few months ago with both our books and said the same as what you said, Dark and Veil.
Yeah, I love it. That's really, I mean, yeah, I immediately thought that. I never saw that post from her, so it just crossed my mind. I thought, oh, that's funny. That works.
So how long have you been writing?
I started 18 months ago, a year ago in February. Yeah.
Okay. Is this been like a lifelong aspiration for you?
I wrote loads when I was a kid, in primary school before I discovered beer and women going out and all that kind of stuff. I used to write a lot of short stories in primary school. So the teacher would always give us those titles like My Summer Vacation or Christmas Vacation, whatever it was, and I would always twist it into something where they went away on holiday to a caravan park or whatever, and all the other people in the caravans were vampires or werewolves or whatever it was. I always twisted it into something fantasy or horror anyway, and I loved it as a kid. And then, as I say, I forgot about it for a long time until about 2.5 years ago. I started reading again quite a lot. I'd always dabbled a little bit, but I left it over the years. But then I got right back into it, pretty heavy. Got my Kindle, and I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I started getting loads of ideas, and every time me and my wife would have a beer or whatever, have a date night, I'd start saying, "Well, what about this idea? And what about that idea?" And she said to me, just before I started the range, she's like, "Will you just shut up and just go and write a book or something? You're doing my head in. Just do it." And I went, "Okay." And 3 months later, the Ranger was written.
Wow.
And I haven't stopped since. I'm on the 4th book now, so steaming, trying to just get ahead. But it's not even that I don't think I get about 2,000 words a day, but I don't look at it as work, and I'm sitting, sweating and trying to work really hard. It's just my head's full of so much stuff. I've got to get it out. It's like a big well of ideas that's been swelling up for years, and now I've cracked it, kind of thing, and I can't
That's
stop
amazing.
it.
I mean, that's a pretty awesome pace. I was just going to say that to do it almost casually the way you describe it. Do you find when you take days off, like from that period after work, is it hard to then pick it up the next day, or how does that play out?
It's hard mentally and emotionally because I just want to be writing. I feel guilty, to be honest. It annoys me. Because I don't find it hard to pick up where I left off because I'm always thinking. So sometimes a day off, a day or two away from it is actually really good because you could be stuck or you're not quite sure and you think it's going to go a certain way. But when I'm on the building site at work, say, and I'm doing something I've done 1,000 times over, like hanging doors or fitting something, in the back of my head, the story's always running, whatever I'm working on at that time. So I find that those times can help, but it's hard for me because I just miss it. I just want to, I just want to keep going. That kind of way. I always feel like it's more guilt than anything. So then I try and just catch up. But once you get back into it again, for a few days, I love it when it's constant. When you've got 2 or 3 weeks, just every single day, you got your 2,000 words done. You got quite a lot of work there. Then you do need
fast.
then you do need a day away from it just to kind of decompress. Because this current book I'm writing at the minute is shorter and smaller than 3 days, which is now with beta readers, as I was just saying to you before. But it's more complicated in many ways. And just the other day, all day was at work. I was frying my head how to make certain things work and what was going to happen later on. Not planning, but planning without writing it down, if you like. But yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard when I'm not writing because, as I say, I think it's mostly guilt because I just want to keep working, just keep going.
Fair. Yep.
So you mentioned 3 days. That's your zombie epic. What drew you to writing specifically horror, and what drew you to a zombie story in particular?
Horror has always been something I loved alongside fantasy. I read Dracula when I was 12, and that was my first proper horror book, and that was it. It terrified the life out of me. I was only young, but it was. I remember I loved that feeling, and when I wrote, I wanted to create that feeling in other people. It's always great being scared by a movie or a book because it ain't real. And as soon as it's done, you can, go and watch a comedy or do something else, and you soon forget it. You don't want to happen in real life. It's where we get to escape to. But fantasy was a huge part of my life because I used to play all those, the adventure game books where you choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
I've got hundreds of them in my cupboard that I need to put up in the shelves that I still haven't built. But I would say mostly it would be Stephen King and Richard Matheson, who got me into horror. Reading them young, and when I started reading again, and when I wrote The Ranger, I started with fantasy, to like what I did when I was a kid because it seemed the easiest way for me to get into because The Ranger was quite easy to read because of the huge fantasy background that I had. But then I started reading King again, and then that was it. It just flipped the script for me, and I was like, now I remember from what I loved when I was a kid, and that's where the veil came from. I was reading when I was finishing off Ranger, and I was planning Veil in my head. I was getting loads of ideas, and it all started from my ear ringing, having tinnitus. That was all, and it kind of grew from there. But Stephen King's fairy tale went into a big inspired along with John Carpenter's They Live.
Okay.
That old, the 80s movie.
Yeah.
They're the two biggest influences, and then all the rest of it just kind of came together as I wrote it.
When did Fairy Tale come out? I'm trying.
22, I think.
That was
2022.
more recent, right?
Or
Yeah.
23.
Okay, yeah.
It could be later. No, it was 22 or 23. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember because I knew it was like very recent. I was just.
I remember I launched Garden Maze a little bit before he launched Fairy Tale, and the day he launched Fairy Tale, I got a couple sales.
Huh.
So some algorithm said, "Oh, new fantasy. Oh, look at this too." So I got 1 or 2 King sales, I think, as a result of Fairy Tale coming out.
So that's the secret. You got to line up your launches with the big ones.
That's probably not what happened, but that's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it. Or they just bought your book because they liked it.
Yeah, it's fair. So it's funny because Isaac and I have chatted about this before. Specifically the zombie context, and we were talking about this just before the show, but The Stand happens to be one that we've both had opinions about. I never made it all the way through, if I'm being honest. I gave it like 2 or 3 fair shots, which is why whenever someone says to me, hey, I tried to make it through your book, really liked parts of it, wasn't sure about others, but ultimately I think I'm going to give it a pass. I'm like, it's all good. I've done it to too many other authors to complain,
Yeah.
And to me, The Stand was that one. And there was a lot I really liked in it. It's just, I don't know. I hit a certain point where I was like, I've got other books I want to read right now, So.
I've paused The Stand. I'm halfway through it. And I do dip in every now and again because it's so bloody huge. It was the same with it, but it was so good I couldn't put it down. It took me about 3 months. I'm a very slow reader. But go back to the other question: why zombies? Why not? I mean, I've always loved zombies. Loved the idea of the world just going to chaos. And the main reason why I love that is not the fact that people are dying and everything's bad. It's because you don't have to go to work anymore. No one can tell you. No one can tell you what to do ever again. There's no more rent. There's no more mortgage. There's nothing.
Except for the guy with what's his name? Wow, this tells you how much I watch zombie shows. But oh, come on, Walking Dead. The guy everyone loves to hate and hates to love with the who bashes people's heads in. Negan. There you go. Yeah. He'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, well, yeah, depends on where you go. So the infected in 3 days are not. Well, everybody's done this now, so it's been done to death in so many different ways. It's where I took the inspiration from The Stand is I did a big wide panoramic view of Jersey, island of Jersey, where I currently live now, but that's between England and France. And Jersey's built up of a whole load of little small towns with a big centre, big massive town down by the harbour on the south coast. So they're all called after saints like St. Mary, St. Peter's, St. John's, and so on. So I picked one of each of the parishes and set the main characters being from there. And then as a detail, what happens over the first 3 days of how everyone gets sick. I thought, well, what am I going to do? We're going to say, I've got them all on the outside of the island. They're all scattered around the island. I need to bring them together. So that's where, after everything goes wrong, the infected are running around everywhere. The next when they go on the road, they need a destination in central Jersey. I don't want to give away too much, but it's what happens over those 3 days. It's what happens on the road. It's what happens when they get there, and then is what happens afterwards. So it's very 28 days later inspired the infected, and The Stand inspired everything else.
Yeah.
But then the infected becomes such a backdrop of it. It's very like everything I write is very character driven. Which I find that so much more interesting. You can still have a great story or the great idea going on and cooking in the background, but it's your characters who drive it, and I just let them say whatever they want to say. Just let them act whatever way they want. Don't think about it, and it takes some crazy turns. I'm even so every writer's had this. You're surprised yourself. I didn't expect them to say that, but when they do things like that, there's no point having a plan because the whole story changes. One sentence from a character, one conversation had between two or three of them changes everything, and it could change the whole direction. New things happen that you didn't expect. So that's the way I like to write, just to let it run itself. Get it started and then let it run itself.
Yep.
Well, and you said this story, is it 3 days that you said has 17 characters roughly that you were dancing around with? Was it that one, or was it the other story?
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's about 15, 16, 17 characters. Some of them, there's about 10, maybe more. Big, I can't remember now fully, but there's quite a lot of big main characters, and it's all broken up into their sections. So over the first 3 days, as I said, is the first, maybe about the first third. No, it's about the first third or half of the book, maybe between a third and a half, if you like. And it goes between each characters over day 1, day 2, day 3. So there might be 5 or 6 different main characters. So remember, some of them are grouped together as well. So there might be 3 or 4 in one group, or 2 in one group, or however it is. And it cycles through them, and it tells the events are always moving. It doesn't flip back and forward. From the morning of day 1, it cycles through, and it goes from each character's perspective as the events in the greater story are moving, and then it cycles around for the 3 days. And then once the 3 days are done, I kind of try and coalesce it all together then, and bring them all together who don't know each other, and there's some crazy personalities in there that just flip the whole story on its head once they start meeting and different things. So with the threat of the infected, coming after them all the time.
Yeah.
And then it just, it never really settles down, and it never starts. I hit the ground running with that one, which is Vale. I took my time with the kids and what happened, but with 3 days, the opposite. It hits the ground running right from the start, and doesn't quite let up.
Samantha in chat said she's read The Stand 20 times.
Yeah.
Is this the fat indulgent version, or the first one that came out?
That's a good question.
So if she's still there, she'll answer. But to you, how do you approach writing zombies in your book? Do you treat them like characters? Are there are certain zombies that pop in and out during the story, or do you treat them more like a horde, like a group? Or what's your approach to handling that in writing? Because I've seen zombies portrayed in comics and games, and haven't read very many zombie books. What's your approach to that kind of monster in written form? I think I broke the stream.
Oh, well, okay. It's not just you. Oh no.
You hear us? You there?
We've lost you, Eamonn.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Can't see you.
Yeah, I'm there.
Lost you on the screen. I wonder. Let me try something on my end.
Samantha always reads the full one.
The full one always, yeah. That's Well, I didn't find it painfully indulgent. It's just, but maybe I probably need to give the original a chance just to see.
Yeah.
But I do like getting an author's original vision of a story, so it's tricky.
We're here, Eamonn. We hear you, but we don't see you.
Right. I haven't done anything. I haven't touched anything.
Bummer.
Front camera.
Maybe if you leave and come back in again.
Right.
Might be our best shot.
1 second.
Yeah.
1 second.
He's gonna come back as a zombie, says Grumpy Andrew. Grumpy Andrew, why are you so grumpy? You have an entire whorehouse. That should make you very happy.
It's terrible. Gonna come back as a zombie. Yeah, he's just putting on some makeup.
Always. That'd be a lovely surprise.
That'd actually be amazing. We need some cosplay on this show.
Some really bad cosplay, like really last minute, like
all right, there we go.
Before you came on.
We're in luck.
Hey, you're back.
You're back.
You. So yeah, the question was how do you handle? So, well, they're like 28 days later, so I wouldn't say it's a virus. I don't want to say the delivery system and everything yet, but basically,
don't spoil it. Yeah.
It's an infection that you'll get to read as we go. But the way I like to do it of course, if you're going to have zombies, you got to have all the typical. You need to hit all the different encounters. You know, the zombie or the ambush encounters, the shock encounters, the trapped encounter, and you have to. Well, I think so anyway. After each one that you've done, and you're raising the bar or you're raising the tension, you can never go below that bar again, no matter what. No matter what you're telling in the story. So you can imagine after each encounter when people get involved with him, it just like I said, 3 days hits the ground running, and it goes up and up and up and up and up until it you always need a horde. That's when you put it in though. Is so I don't want to give away
that
too
might
much.
be one of my problems I have with The Stand, where for that story isn't really a horror book. It's not a horror story. The Stand. It's much more of a character drama, and I got into it expecting something more like It, something more like even like Dark Tower. But it was a much more quiet, much more heartful book, and I was wanting that exciting, scary, and you got it in some places, if I remember correctly. Mostly in the beginning when people are all dying, you have all that shock. But once everyone's pretty much dead, it's just a big wind up to the climax of the book, which I totally get if people love that. It's just maybe it's because I read the extended version that I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. Let's get to the ending now. Let's get to the ending now. And then the ending for me didn't feel as satisfying as it could have been.
Right.
But like you're saying, make sure that each encounter tops the last one. You don't go back. You keep going forward. I feel like he didn't quite do that with The Stand, and that wasn't what he was shooting for.
It's funny because that's a piece of Stephen King's advice that I got from him ages ago. He said he did a live talk, and he said once you raise that bar, or once you raise the tension of the tension in your book, you've created a new plateau that you cannot climb back down from. And I was like, right, okay, I stuck with that, and all my writing does that now. Which is it's good, but I've kind of reversed the script with Puddle People because normally I did it with 3 days because 3 days does kick off in straight away in the first chapter. It's just it all starts very nice and then just there's no messing around. We know what we came here for. We came for a big infected thing. I'm not going to spend a week boiling it up. I thought, no, I'm just getting straight into it. But the Veil was the opposite. The Veil was a very slow build up to the absolute craziness it goes to. But then with Puddle People, my new book that I'm currently writing, it's very vague in the first chapter. You don't really know what's going on, and then it's such a shock what happens in the second one. You're like, what the? And then I dial it back. Because I want the reader to know what's going on right from the beginning. There's no point hiding this because I want the people. What the fuck is going on here? But it's then what happens around that because the reader always knows, and it's all the different elements closing in on Walter Minsk that's going to create the the tension, the suspense, the build up to it, and is he going to get caught? Is people going to find out? I don't even know myself yet. I'm still writing it, but that's I'm experimenting with going the other way, rather than a big slow build up. Then just to see how it works. I think it's worked.
The little bit you shared before the show reminded me of a mix of Breaking Bad and Back to the Future. We had Breaking Bad for the breaking of the bad, and Back to the Future for the relationship between the scientist and his friend.
Yeah. Well, Walter Minsk is actually inspired by what do you call him?
Walter White.
Name in Walter White.
Yeah, his name's Walter. Yeah,
that's
maybe that also triggered something in my brain. Little connection.
Makes sense.
I was trying to think of a name for him, and when I was thinking of the character, and he's not a bad person. He's got good intentions, or he wants to help mankind, but how he goes about it is not very good and not very nice. But it's the same thing in Breaking Bad. Walter just wanted to get money for his treatment for his family and all the rest of it, and he started out with the great intentions, but he ended up becoming pretty messed up. That show's crazy. Like, it's very stressful. So that is the kind of, I think, of maybe a subconscious. Because I already had the story and I was looking for his name, and Walter appeared on Twitter or whatever it was, the internet, and I was like, Walter. And then Minsk, my character, reminded me so much of him, and I went, that's it. That's his name. And I don't know where Minsk came from. I have no idea. But
That's
I
great.
liked it.
That's
so
great.
it's a kind of a scientific name, Minsk, or I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah, it sounds like,
He's a
the scientific name of an animal that only 4 people know about and no one uses.
I had a question connected to just what we were talking about. So pacing and atmosphere. This is something I'm really wrestling with right now in a fun way. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but I'm very curious your thoughts. When it comes to whichever way you're going, up or down, after, like, talking about raising that bar, and then that's the new plateau. So how do you handle the aftermath scenes? I'm not talking about the end of the story. I'm talking about mid-story, something happens, that raises that bar. How do you handle the immediate aftermath of that in a way that doesn't create too much of a breakneck pace, maintains the atmosphere, and keeps the story going the way you want? How do you pull that off?
Well, that's a great question, because I wrestle with it myself, trying to build stories up. So the way I like to do it is I do it in stages. You don't have one that's just so huge that there's no going back from. That everything's, because if it goes big, then the story's gone big, the pacing's gone big. You need to resolve what's happened, if you like. But if you do it, I like imagine it like steps on a staircase. Um, every 3 stairs, you're taking it up a notch and a notch and a notch, because there will come a point where you reach the landing, and it's just a straight run to the end from there.
Yeah.
So depending on what story you're telling and what you want to tell, you got to be really, really careful, because if you raise it to a high enough plateau, because you can never come back down from them, you have to be committed to go. There's just something that happens in halfway through the veil, that once that happens, that's it. There's no going back.
Yeah.
And it's already this high. Then all the tension and all the suspense, if you like, is resolved at that midway point, because they now know what everything is. But just because they know what everything is, it doesn't make it the terror or the horror go away. That's when the real horror sets in, because of what happens to them after it. So I took it in stages, getting up to the middle of the book, little reveals, different things happening to the kids, until there come a point where there was no going back from the central point. And then once I was in the central point, then I could let my fantasy head go. And they're not no normal and no longer in our world, if you like. And I could just play with it as much as I wanted. But each chapter,
like
each section then was easy to do, because I could have fun with it. I could just go nuts with it, because they were no longer here, and it was always crescendoing towards a big ending where you're like, there was no clear ending in sight for the kids, and you think they're fucked. There's no way out of this. They're absolutely screwed. Fucked. Done. Until a nice little twist comes in, you're like, and then I'll let you read it and find out. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't read it.
Right, don't ruin it for me. That is right on my TBR. So
yeah. Wait until it's being re-edited and rejigged right now. It'll be another few weeks, but
waiting for that.
Get that copy.
Yeah,
which I will be providing it for free for the first week it comes out, and maybe a discount on the paperback and eBack, just to say thanks, and as a relaunch. I think that's a nice way to go. I think I'm going to get a revamped cover too, like I said, doing kind of a soft relaunch. Which after a couple of days and I've get it uploaded, I'll do a weekend free then or something, an Amazon thing, and reduce the price temporarily, for the paperback and hardback, just because it's a bit annoying. It's come out and I've had
fair, but I mean,
just to clean it up.
Yeah, no, that's something to look forward to. I mean, relaunches are tricky. I mean, having gone through it, so that's fun though. I think that's a good approach. And new covers do tend to be. I mean, that just adds to the fun too. That really helps build the hype, so that it's not just oh, by the way, there's a
Let's back
slightly
out
improved
again.
version.
Yeah. I'm not changing any of the story. I'm just tightening up the grammar and
Yeah,
punctuation, things like
Mhm.
that. Silly things that I missed. There was a
Yeah.
bit of a rush launch. It was my fault, so I hold my hands up for that. But the main story is there. It won't change. So anyone who's got the copy now, beforehand, there'll never be any of those printed again. So they might be worth money one day when
There
I'm
you go.
rich and
Yeah.
famous.
Like one of those early Harry Potter copies that sells for
There
$20
you
to
go. Yeah.
$30,000, $40,000. Yeah,
hmm
the dream, right?
When it's a movie, yeah. When it's a big movie, yeah. Big C.
Exactly.
Gotta aim big, Tim. Isaac.
TV series, yeah. Video games, anyways, yeah. Oh, never ends.
Merchandise, the whole lot, yeah.
Yep. There we go.
T-shirts, teddy bears, bumper
Oh,
stickers.
The veil teddy bears.
Oh, we've got Veil t-shirts. I'm not wearing it tonight because it's in the
Oh
wash.
yeah, Dark
So I'll
Veil
wear it
merchandise.
outside.
There we go.
Yeah, there will be Dark Veil merchandise. There's a lot. I've been warned not to say anything, but I'm not drunk this time, so I won't. When I was on my bearded
We've only
bookies
got
a
one
few
beer
weeks
in you.
ago,
We're not doing our job.
no, I'm sipping this one because I've got a lot of writing and stuff to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm just having one while I chat to you.
Mm.
But there is plans. I had a business meeting with certain things today that went very, very well. The game is afoot, as they say.
That's exciting. For your business meeting for you, or we're back Dark Veil Society.
Dark Veil Society, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Very
that's
cool.
very
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, that has been fun to watch. Just because I mean, it's not just you and Molly who have both been huge. Just watching both of you, take off. But I mean, so many authors in there. You've already mentioned S.S. Fitzgerald, who I've interacted with since my early days, on Twitter. Jan, whose name I always screw up, Miklatsiewicz. I have it here. So no matter how many times he even has an acknowledgement in my book, and I still can never say his name right. I'm so sorry, Jan, but it's Jan Miklatsiewicz, right? I hope
I
I'm
wouldn't
getting
even know how to say it. No,
it's great, but that
I
guy
just
can
call him
write.
Jan.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got his great horror short story compilations and his newest Eyes Wide Open that came out. Janelle. I mean, yeah, you mentioned Janelle, Nick Horvath. Yeah, Nick Horvath is in there, which caught me off guard when I first saw it. I was like, "Oh, Sledge is part of TVS." That's
Yeah,
wild.
I mean, I've read most of them so far. So Janelle, she's doing really, really well with the Clatterman, and I've read
Yep.
Clatterman and Death Cult, which were both fantastic.
Yep.
Um,
That cover is
then-
fire. That's like I'm scared just looking at that cover.
Oh yeah, Molly's got her cover done by the same artist, and that's coming out soon. And holy shit, she's
Yep.
she's very, very good. Probably going to get the veil redone by her using the same kind of what I have already, but I want it done in her style. I think she would make it a new font and everything.
Yeah. Give it that
Puddle People's going
legit
to get done
horror
by
feel.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Puddle People be quite simple. I want it to be deceptive. So 3 days will be out, maybe hopefully January, February next year, and I'm hoping maybe Puddle People will be out by Christmas. We'll see.
Okay.
But I'm going to get her to do 3 days and Puddle People as well. But yeah, like you said, in Dark Veil Society, you have S.S. Fitzgerald, you got Blake, Janelle.
Yeah.
And forgive me if I get them all. Jan's book, Eyes Wide Open, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you read that?
Yeah, I read that. Oh yeah.
Jesus,
I got to read an arc of that, and I was like, "Ooh, oh boy, yeah, that's fun."
It was like it was so it was just so chilled all the way through, and you knew it was coming, and then when it happened, I was just like, "What the fuck?" I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
And Corvina is great as well. I'm still
Corvina,
reading the Coven, which is a lot of fun. It's quite funny, dark in places. I have got having Sam for dinner there that I must get to as well. You got Blake, who put what do you call her in the elm tree? God, there's so many.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
bummer.
I've got that.
To look it up,
Sledge was amazing. There was one. I have to say, it's one of the cleanest indie books I've ever read. It's just so smooth and perfectly structured. It was excellent.
Yeah.
So
yeah, pure unmitigated badassery.
And there's about 18 of us now. And as I say, while things are building, which they are in the background, I have got my eye on someone. Maybe one more will sneak in there. Say nothing more for now, but we're quite happy where we are. It's not that we're not accepting anyone at all, and we're not opposed to having anybody there. It's not, gatekeeping or keeping it by. We really want to build what we're trying to build at the minute, and it's such our Discord's so much fun. It's like a family in there. Everybody knows each other really well now. So anybody that comes in, you'd have to kind of gel with that and everything. So we don't. We're just a bit young in what we're doing, even though we're doing well and we're starting to get a bit of recognition out there. It's still very early days, but no, the guys are great, and it's so much fun in there. Lots of support too, so we whinge and we moan and things like that, or advice. But yeah, no, it's great. It really is. I'm so glad that we did it and got it set up.
Yeah, and I think you guys have the right approach. I remember 2 years ago, really, when I started on writing Twitter, like just seeing what was already happening at the time. You could see certain attempts at groups sort of appear. Everyone was really starting to use Discord just then in the writing community, and a lot of them very poorly. So there were a lot of Discord groups popping up that kind of just died off very quickly. You still see things like that pop up every once in a while. Like everyone wants to sometimes it starts off as a solo author just wanting a group around their books, and then they try to expand that doesn't work as well, but then you see some people do it right. Small group, tight knit, build kind of a brand. It's almost like you're marketing a whole other thing, rather than just yourself. At that point, you're joining with other people and creating this collective identity that takes, it's not, it doesn't just happen. You have to put some effort into it.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it's gone. It started really with just being Molly to begin with, and she knew Janelle, which we got in. Janelle was one of the first. I'd met Sean, the other Sean. We got two Seans in there, the Sean sandwich, which they're both nuts. But we got them in as well, Blake, and then Chris, who's our resident HP Lovecraft guy. So that's another thing about DVS as well. There's so many different subgenres within horror that we kind of cover them all. We have everybody does something, from ghost stories to slashers to gross body horror, to more suspense and slow build, and there's enough there, I think, for whatever type of horror you like, which is good. I'm a bit varied, but there is a pattern. You'll see what it is. I don't go for the mad big slasher stuff, even though it's in there, but I'm quite subtle with it, if you like. I like the more the dread, the slow suspense, and that kind of hit you with it later on. A bit of shock and stuff later. Yeah, but that's great.
Great for character-driven horror as well. You really get to drive home the psychology of it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. You haven't got a book without characters. At the end of the day, it's just, I like taking normal. This is why I left. The primary reason why I left fantasy is because I like taking normal, everyday people and putting them through something nuts. Something I can just let my imagination go. That way, then with the Ranger, which I will write part 2 hopefully next year. It's going to be a duology, another continuation of the story and wrapping it up for now. But that would be the only time I go back to fantasy for now. What I've noticed is, quite by accident, apart from 3 days, which is here in Jersey, all the rest of the stuff is the Vale and Puddle people on Northern Ireland, which is it's kind of like where King lives up in Maine. It's a replica of England, and it's New England and Northern Ireland. Bangor and all those places. I have all them back home. I thought that's a bit of a weird coincidence, and then I started just kind of doing it by accident, and I was like, hold on a minute. So Puddle people now is in a town called Stirling, which is my version of Limavady, of a town back home. Just was it about 2 hours west of Derry, and Derry is already in the Vale, the real Derry, like from that I think King probably got the name from.
Yeah.
So I've noticed, and I've done this in my next book I'm writing early next year, is called Tina. That's going to be centered in and around Derry as well. A little bit of time travel, serial killer type stuff. There's a very light time travel thing. It happens once or whatever, but it's going to be very emotional driven. I cannot wait to get at this thing. But
nice. I like a little.
So I'm thinking, because I've got 2 books planned for hopefully next year as well. I've got a big book called Ferndale, which is my vampire one, which is kind of inspired by it, but with vampires, if you like.
Okay.
And it's going to be two books in one, going between old and young. I love that, the way he did that. And it's just something that's etching. And I've already mentioned in Puddle People that Ferndale is like, I think 2.5 hours northwest of here, of Stirling. So I'm like, I've accidentally kind of created the same thing that he did, but it's where I'm from, so I might as well run with it, see how it works. Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah,
see if it works.
Yeah, it's interesting. I read a lot. I mean, and in horror especially, it feels like most horror that I read tends to be, in modern settings, and that might even just help horror in general. Some exceptions, and and then you go to classics like you mentioned Dracula earlier, and some of those more older Gothic examples. I think the exception for me is things like that where like the trick I use, like you talked about, just letting your imagination go wild once you introduce the horror elements. The only reason I think I find that fantasy does that more for me, like the way I get around that, because I don't want to write fantasy, for example. I like urban fantasy to a point. I would never want to write it. So the way I get around this is I take my history studies and the historical fiction I've read in the past and the history books I've read in the past, and I try to treat my fantasy as historical fiction, and then I go wild. So it still feels real. And then my imagination can just, the playground is there for me.
Yeah, once you've set the stage and all the cast is on there, you can do whatever you want with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's up to you or up to us how we set the stage, I suppose, and how you introduce your cast to the audience, and then once they're on there, and you once you have a strong enough situation, it renders the whole idea of plot or sticking to a rigid story is pointless. It's pointless. You start with a good, strong situation, like obviously I can't say what Puddle People is yet, but kind of a clue slightly in the name. But you start with that, and the strength. The whole book's based upon that strong start, and your characters spring up from that start. And it's how they start reacting to that, and that's how they grow. It's how you have a basic. They're always kind of flat and unfeatured when you first write them, because you don't know them. You've got an idea of them, but you only get to know them, through the first draft. By the things that they weirdly say that you didn't expect. It's not you writing it; you're letting that person just speak. So by the time you finish the first draft and you've rested it for 6 weeks or whatever, and you've let it cook in the back of your mind, you've got a real good idea of who these people are now. So when you go back over it and rewrite the second draft, you'll see things that you've written and you go, "No, they would never say that," and then you'll naturally let them say it, or you can tweak it, or because you know them even better, your second draft will be more fully realized, because it's like describing one of your you writing about your best friend. You know how he reacts, you know how he's going to do this, or what he would do in a certain situation. So you have this new cast that you can get in and make sure in your second fully realized draft that you honor your characters and they're doing what they would do now that you've got to know them. I love that. And then 1, 2 drafts, polish, send it off.
Tyler,
I'm here. I'm awake. I'm fine. Tyler wants a show, apparently.
Oh man, yeah. I had a moment actually just today. So I've talked to some authors. Usually it's not something you hear live. It's usually behind closed doors where someone will say, "Oh, it's so annoying when you have one of those moments because you have to do so much rewriting." And I had one of those moments today, and it was right at the tail end of my writing session. And the way this scene closed that I'm working on, it was a huge. I have this whole chapter more or less plotted out, more than I normally even do. I had more notes than I've ever put under a chapter in this file, and I'm like, okay, well, that's how this chapter is going. And then I get to this point, and it just this thing happens where it's true to the character and true to the story. I was like, oh, 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 that's freaking amazing. But okay. And it was the best feeling ever. I was like, okay, well, I have to change this now. I have to change this now. I have to change this now. But so
It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. But that idea is worth it though, because see, when you go back and you fixed all those little points that are spiking in your brain, or like
Yeah.
little mini thorns laced through your neural pathways. Now you go and remove them one by one, and it's in and it's there, and you're like, yeah, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Because
You
if you
go back
don't,
and you read it after, and it's just 10
yeah,
times more satisfying.
yeah, because if you don't, those thorns will always be there. And
Yeah.
I kind of knew that with the veil, that it needed just that final good tight edit and polish. So I'm glad that I've pulled it and it's being reworked and I got a new launch. But it was a
Yeah.
tough decision to do that, and that's the point I'm making. If you spot them and if you see, don't ignore it. It's what the guy, because we don't write. It's someone that's well deep down in that well of creativity that just pops up every day at 4 o'clock, does his thing for a couple of hours and pisses off, goes into a beer, and I don't see him again. You got to listen to him, and you got to listen to that. Yeah, that instinct, and just do right. Okay, I'll do the fucking work. I'll fix it. Because it'll be 10 times worth it when you do, and you'll know it. You'll feel it yourself.
Yeah, that happens even. I'm editing right now the next Song of Bones. I've been working on it, this whole thing, for over 10 years. The first book is out as of last year. The second book is almost done. But it's all editing, all cutting things, all adding little scenes I need. And in the middle of everything, I'm editing one scene. One of the characters are like, "Oh, we have to climb this tree. Of course, we're going to climb this tree. Of course, we're going to climb this tree." I'm like, now they climb a tree. It added like another month of just brand new stuff.
Yeah.
All in the tree. And now I'm going through editing that, and I'm taking out 90% of it. But that 10% that's staying in the book are exactly what they would do and exactly them, and it's really good. But I don't want them to do that anymore because I want to get done editing the book. If they keep doing that, I'll do this forever.
Yeah, I mean, for being writers, we have to put up with the editing stage. It's so I was just, because I'm still learning my chops as well. I used to think you just write it and that was it. But no, you write it, rewrite it, and then I'm trying to do 2 drafts now and a polish. Try and get it to there as best I can. So when I do the second draft, I really take my time with it, every fucking sentence, every word, and make sure that it's, because I know after the third, read, I want to throw it out the window. I'm done with it. I get bored, that easy. Even though I love it, I'm like, no, you're getting 2, 3 reads, and I'm fucking done with you. You're going to the editor, because by the time it comes back from the editor, you're going to have to do it again and again. So the second draft is make yourself really put your heart and soul into, because I find too, if you leave it for 6 weeks, and I completely forget what 3 days is now. What I've written. I've left it for that long. I'm writing Puddle People, and I'm not going back to 3 days until Puddle People's first drafted. And I'm not even going to edit it at all. When I go back to it, I'm just going to read it start to finish over the course of a couple of weeks. Make my notes as I go along, and really get it cemented solid in my head, and then I'll go back and do the second draft. But because I've left it, and because I've read it again, when I go to write the second draft, it'll be crystal clear in my head. I'll know exactly where all the holes are. I'll get in there, write it to the best, and then a third skim to go through and grammar, punctuation, and make sure I've got all the story beats that I want, and then it goes. Right now, it's with beta test readers, the first draft, which is fine, that initial thing, because I'm still going to rewrite it anyway. I'm going to gather on all their kind of thoughts by the end of September, And if there's anything that sticks out at me or anything I really agree with, I want to work on, if there's any major holes, I'll patch them up in the second draft after I've read it. And then it'll go to Catherine, probably January. But that's what I do, because I think I went through about 6 drafts with the Veil and still have loads of errors, because every time you do it, I think it's a case of diminishing returns, because you've read it that many times, you start to fill in words that aren't even there.
Yeah.
And he walked down the road. You might say and walk down the road, but you're putting in the he or whatever. So it's only 1, 2. Make sure number 2 is great. Really deep. Fucking rewrite and edit. 3, polish and get rid of it. Because then when it comes back from the editor, then you'll actually be excited. You won't be as sick. You can overdo it, overwork it.
Yeah.
And you need a good editor, obviously.
Yeah.
Something definitely.
One of the issues I had with Song of Bones was, because it took me 10 years to do the whole thing, I had a core concept at the very start that I wrote. It was in the story, got edited out halfway through, but it was so ingrained in my head, I knew what it was, and the characters knew what it was, and they acted upon it. But as I got closer to finishing, I was reading over the draft. I'm like, yeah, this is all here. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know what they're talking about. Does the reader know? Then I look over it fresh, like a reader. I'm like, oh, I've completely cut out the thing from the very beginning that everything was hinging on. I need to put that back in there somewhere. And so it can be dangerous to be overly familiar with everything, because you start seeing things that aren't there anymore.
Yeah, there even when you use tricks, and I've heard them all. Like the classic one is, okay, we'll get an audio reader to read it back to you, and or read it aloud yourself, and it'll be. But see, when you just do that, you'll fill in the blanks like you normally would. To a point, it is, if you read it aloud rather than just in your head, it does require a bit more, and you will catch more.
Definitely.
Yeah. The other thing I do is I'll literally retype it out in a separate document. But I don't use that document because you'll make new typos. So I just do this to force myself word by word to get back into the story as a final editing exercise. And it takes a little bit of time, not as much as it takes to write it. So it's not that long. And it is wild how many things you will catch that just slip by because you're so familiar with the story.
Thousands of them, yeah.
It's so annoying.
There's another good thing to do. Once you've let it rest and you're going back and you're doing your first read, I tend to put it on my Kindle. So I don't read off the TV. Fuck reading off a Word document. It's shite because it's too wide, it's double spaced, it's all spasticated, and it just doesn't look, it doesn't feel like a book. So I sit in my chair, like where I'm sitting now, and I have it on my Kindle, and I read it and see that when it's formatted and you go through, you see so much more shit. As soon as I see a typo, whatever, I stop, or whatever it is, or a sentence is not flowing the way I like, I stop right where I'm at, and I scroll through with the Word document, live on my computer, and I go and make the changes there, and then go back, continue on. That really, really helps. Really helps, particularly for your, after your first read, and then you're going into the second draft. It saves you retyping the whole thing out as well, because it does. It's because it's right there for you in book format. But definitely reading it out loud too picks up so much.
Well, I kid you not. So after I do my retyping thing, I do the exact same thing. I convert it to EPUB, and I put the original, and I put it on my Kindle. And, and I don't know, I do this I force myself to do it because it works. It adds an extra layer. So, I have my computer up here in my office, and I have my reading nook kind of 2 levels down in the townhouse I'm in, in my part, separate from the landlord. And so I go down 2 layers to the basement where my reading nook is. And that's where I leave my Kindle. So I go down, I find a mistake, I run up to the office, get a good little workout, make the change, run back down, find the next mistake, run back up. So it really makes me have to do a better job catching the mistakes, or else I get a really good workout.
Yeah. At least you get your work in and workout at the same time.
It works. that little extra
I'm too
motivation.
lazy to do that. No, I'm just gonna sit in front of. I'm gonna sit in front of the machine and do that. I'm on my feet all day as a
That's
carpenter.
fair. Yeah.
So no, fuck that shit. I'm sitting in my chair and I'll read it on my Kindle and make the changes there. But no, it makes. And what it would do too is probably because you're going to be aware of it, and when you're, say, you're first drafting, you're thinking on yourself, I ain't running up and down them stairs. Make sure
Yeah.
this is tight. Make sure your mistakes aren't.
It trains your brain. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of subconsciously goes, I ain't running up and down them stairs, motherfucker. Not 50 times today. Write it correctly. To make
So
make
the
things a
more
bit
weight
tighter.
I gain, the more I become like one of those, really famous authors who, looks like they've been at the keyboard their whole life. The more weight I gain, the less mistakes I'm making.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little
And
tricks.
if you get skinnier,
if I get
you know
skinnier, then
you're fucking up.
Okay, this is just, I find the more I do this, the more mistakes I make while drafting, especially when I'm in free flow creative form. When I'm really diving into the characters and really diving into the story and the setting, I'll catch myself using more phonetic spellings that don't even make sense. Like I'll catch myself making way more mistakes than I used to.
Right.
Maybe it's just, I don't know, it's a different part of your brain or something, but yeah, I feel like I'm going downward when I'm drafting. Only when I'm drafting, I catch them all after. But it's just funny. I don't like it. I don't like making as many mistakes. But
Well, I do it all the time. I'm atrocious. Atrocious. I write things all. My brain is so messed up sometimes. I keep writing. I tend to type quick fast, so I can get 2,000 words done in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. So I've been struggling to about 3 hours. So I'm going at it, but because I go at it like I'm just seeing everything. I'm just typing, like watching the movie play out in my head. If you like, I'm just describing it as we go. When I'm trying to do a bit of descriptive work, it slows down. Dialogue tends to go a bit quicker because it's just people talking. But a bit of narration around the dialogue and internal monologue or whatever they're saying to themselves, thinking. But particularly when it's just straight narration, action, people moving from point A to B, and you're just hammering it out. I'm always putting the wrong letters in the wrong fucking place. Walter is always WLATER,
yeah.
not WALT. I'm like, I stop sometimes, particularly when I'm retired, and I'm like, are you fucking retarded? Why are you doing this 1,000 times a day? It's WALTER, and it cracks me up. And then I'll have a go at myself. I'll continue writing, then I'll write it again. WLA, and I'm like, right, you know what? So now I just type and just let it go. And you have all those red squiggles everywhere. Go back and fix them when you're done. Right click, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Don't
stop. Spend too much time trying to fix it. You'll spend the time beating yourself up, and it takes that much longer to write, or you'll get frustrated and just stop.
Yeah. If you're in a paragraph and you've started the paragraph and it's about 20 lines long, whatever it is, and you've finished that paragraph and you're going on to a new thought, then that's a good time when you're letting a new thought kind of just stay in your mind. Let that, then go back and do your quick little fixes and
that's fair.
And then another sprint, you're away again. But I mean, each to their own. That's just whatever way. As long as we get there, it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, we all figure out our own little habits and ways to get around it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Isaac, what are you thinking? Are you thinking it's time for a game? We're about at the hour mark.
Speaking of habits and ways, have you guys? How are you familiar with the stupid TikTok, YouTube short trend where they rank things in order without knowing what the next thing's going to be?
Nope.
No.
Well, we're gonna do it. You're gonna find out now.
Okay.
So we did this once with books. We're gonna do it with movies now. So I want you to rank these movies blindly. So we're gonna start with one movie. And you're gonna rank it on a scale of 1 to 5. But once you put it in that spot, it stays in that spot. Other movies cannot take its place in the ranking.
Are they all the same thing?
Yeah, horror movies.
Right.
So the first one I believe is The Thing. Speaking of
Oh my god,
inspiration, so on a scale of 1, now there are other movies beyond this one, so you might want to save your
Okay.
number 1 spot if you think something better coming up, or
Damn.
maybe I'm tricking you. Maybe the rest of them are crap.
How many have we got out of 5? Is it? Did you say?
5.
Yeah.
5.
Fuck. Well, you know what? I'm going to play it safe because Isaac. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in 2.
2?
In 2, just in case you're going to throw me a curveball or something is better. But there's not much better than The Thing, to be honest. It's quite a perfect.
The Thing is so much freaking fun.
Yeah,
it's quite a perfect movie. It's got everything. 2. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go 2.
2.
Thing,
Okay.
number 2.
See
Next
what-
movie, The Shining.
The Shining.
Oh, King hates that movie because it's so different to the book.
Mm.
I don't know. I get to say. I'll go 4.
4? I
4?
think that's
Yeah.
Shining wasn't that scary to me.
No.
Mm.
I think I get why people love it so much, but I don't get why it's like the best ever.
Yeah. I feel like Doctor Sleep doesn't get enough love. I thought it was an incredible, different style, but a really good sequel to. I mean, I'm not talking the books because I haven't read either, but I'm talking the movie. I thought was really damn good.
Yeah, I haven't read
Blake
Doctor
says
Sleep
Shining
yet.
should be
I will
number
do.
1.
Mm.
No.
Poor Blake.
4, no. Yeah, we've got some contention here.
Okay, so The
No,
Thing is
Blake,
number
you're
2.
fired.
Shining number 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next movie
see.
is
There we go.
Tremors. Now, if Tremors ain't number 1, nothing is.
Oh man, I'm going to go 3 on this one.
3?
But Tremors
Yeah.
was brilliant. There's a lot of tension in Tremors. You know, where you stand, and I loved it. I thought it was class, and it's old, but it was brilliant.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
I love Tremors because the movie has weird rules the characters have to figure out. Everyone in that movie is hilarious, and the monster is actually scary.
Yeah. It's terrifying. You know.
So The Thing 2, Tremors 3, Shining 4. That leaves us the first place and last place.
Oh, it's
So
gonna
let's see
be
what
fun.
the next one is. Scream.
No, the first one was I thought the first one was quite terrifying, to be honest, because there's no supernatural element to it, and there's nothing more scary than human beings in the story. Especially when Drew Barrymore got killed right at the beginning of it. I thought she was going to survive. I thought she was going to make it, and don't they slit her throat right outside where the parents are or something? No, she's hanging in the tree. That to me, that fucked me up. I thought, whoa, it was pretty scary, shockingly scary. And it was a great all-round slasher movie. But is it number 1? Because I don't know what you're hiding there. I'm gonna have to put it in 5 just in case.
Okay. Let's see if the last one is Ernest Scared Stupid.
I'm really excited.
Oh shit!
Shaun of the Dead.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah,
quite literally one of the greatest movies ever made. It's got
It is a fantastic movie.
It's got the comedy. It's got a really amazing zombie story. There's no, it hits all the right parts, and it does everything. Yeah, it is. It's great.
It's written perfectly. It's acted perfectly, and it's shot in such a unique and fun way. And it's just everything about it's playful and fun.
Yeah. It is. It's excellent. Definitely number 1. Yeah.
Okay, so
that worked out very well.
Dead. Number 2 is The Thing. 3 was Tremors, I believe. 4 is The Shining, and number 5 is Scream.
Yeah.
Sorry to Scream, but I think that's fair.
I feel that's fair. Yeah, I that might be the best we've seen.
I was this close to putting Ernest Scared Stupid somewhere on the list, but I found too many horror movies I liked, and
this worked out well. Oh man,
there's actually results for this that we can see what way they were ranked. Yeah.
Oh, we should, but no.
If I was super talented and amazing and smart, I would definitely set that up. But unfortunately, I'm just me.
Too much effort. We don't have time for that.
We should look into figuring out how to do that live on the show, because
I
there
guess we
are
could
dumber
treat it-
people
You
than
could
me
just
that do it.
Yeah, you just do the IMDb, or Metacritic or whatever, and or
Hmm.
just whatever has
Oh,
the
see, with
highest.
you're saying with the actual, like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
just
was
the
thinking we
ratings.
could use it like we could do, because we've seen on other shows like ranking competitions, everyone, 2 versus 2 versus 2, all meeting in the middle. We could do something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
we'll look into
movies, are there any horror movies you're looking forward to? I know that I have my ticket for Weapons coming out next week.
I was just going
That
to
one
say
looks
that
pretty good.
Weapons. It's supposed to be fantastic. The early reviews are saying, "Wow."
I've avoided all reviews. I want to go in
Yeah.
completely blind.
I've avoided all trailers as well. I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm watching this, and it better not let me down. Welcome to Derry is coming soon. The new It prequel series.
Series,
Which,
right? Yeah.
if it's anything like the movies, then I can't wait, because I love those remakes 1 and 2. I know
Yeah.
people prefer the originals. I prefer the new ones.
Oh, I thought the new ones were freaking extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were scary.
Yeah.
It still frightens me now every time. Well, quite a few times when I get drunk and the missus passes out and goes to bed, I'll sit downstairs and I'll watch 2 of them back to back until I pass out drunk. But I love it, love them.
The first one had some genuine really did me in scares, and I thought, okay, well now I'm braced for the second one. It can't it might be able to maybe top, but now, and then the second one just, holy hell, I thought it really jumped it up even another notch.
You're talking It?
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, that was if you're gonna up the scare factor for a sequel, they nailed that.
I don't remember what happens in It 2. I know it happens in It 2, but I don't remember watching it.
Fair.
I have It 1. To me, I really, really, really loved all the younger actors. It really should have been to do It. You need to do a season of television where you have like 8 1-hour episodes where they're jumping back and forth between the past and the future, past and present, whatever they do.
Yeah, because that's how you did it in the book. It's so streamlined. There's not book 1 and book 2, which I love. I love the way he does that. It's just a simple thing in italics, so but it's so classy, because they'd be talking about Bill will be saying something about, yeah, you remember what you said. No, I don't remember what I said. They go, yeah, you did. You said, oh, look at that up there, and and it flips back. It flips back the conversation straight away, seamlessly through, and I went, I fucking love that. I'm stealing that. I'm nicking that shit. I'm gonna do that myself in a book later on. That's what Ferndale is going to be about, but that's what I'm saying for now. Vampires inspired by It. Done.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, so here I have the Rotten Tomatoes rankings of all the movies. So number 1 in the list was The Shining, 92 score. Okay. Shaun of the Dead's next, also 92. I don't know why I put Shining above, probably seniority. Then it's Tremors at 88. Then The Thing at 85. Then Scream at 80.
So we weren't too far off.
Yeah.
No. Well, we were very far off with The Shining and The Thing, and not
that bad. Just The Shining. Yeah.
Scream is in the back, just like the list.
Yeah. Yeah. The Shining gets like a lot of love, in terms of just general popularity. So but yeah, it's definitely not up there for me. So I think we were in the right.
I need to watch that again. I haven't seen it in a long time. As I said, I'm reading the book now, and it's just gone nuts. Jack's gone fucking mental. Down in the ballroom where he started drinking again the first time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kicking off now. And I never really get bored. Well, I do get bored sometimes. We can, well, not bored, but I'm like, right, dude, I know what you're doing. Come on, let's go, keep it going.
Yeah.
And I've read so many of King's books, but going back now over The Shining again, it's the first one where I'm like, I forgot all about it. I was like, when is the fucking thing going to kick off? And just at the point where I was like, right, I'm getting annoyed now. It just started happening, and I was like, right, here we go, signed. Which is
Blake, in 10 words, what is it about The Shining that you love? What brings you back to it?
And Blake, while you're working on that,
You
my
can do more than
question
10
is,
words.
Eamon, what movie for you? You can answer for book as well, but what movie in particular? What horror movie for you do you go back to more than once, if any, per year?
For me,
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, there's a few. It would be I've watched it probably about 5,
That'd be
6
it,
times
yeah.
this year.
Oh wow,
Literally the first one.
that's so awesome.
Because yeah, no, I have. And I've watched both of them back to back. Where, say, my missus is just too tired, and we've had our night, and she's just gone to bed, and it's still early enough, 8, 9 o'clock. I've sat down there until I'm blind drunk. I've watched 6 hours of it all because they're quite long movies all the way through, and never regretted it once. I have watched The Thing, I think, twice this year because it's just something that I love. But I'm watching so many this year now, particularly old ones, and there's so many rare and weird ones coming out all the time that the ones that the one I would have repeated the most, particularly this year, it would be it, the first one for sure.
I think it is on there for me. Third, I would say. So 1 and 2 both would be kind of tied for third place for me for what I go back to most for horror. The 2 that I've gone back to most over the last like 2 or 3 years would be As Above, So Below. I can't even fully explain why I love that one so much because I'm not always a big found footage fan, but I love that movie like just completely. And then the other one, that's more like a guilty pleasure for me that I just can't not rewatch every once in a while is Brightburn. Have you seen Brightburn?
Brightburn.
Oh, it's brilliant. I love it.
More than once? Brightburn?
I love it. I'm sorry,
man.
I love that movie. Yeah.
I love that. I love the whole idea of an evil superhero.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Brilliant. Like that's heaven to me. That just that I freaking love it. I love it.
Have you guys seen the new Superman?
No, I haven't. No.
Haven't? You should go see it.
I really want
like
to.
it.
Yeah.
James Gunn is like, that Brightburn thing. Let's put a little bit of Brightburn in this, just a little bit.
I'm writing Brightburn down because it's been a wee while since I've watched that, and that is going to be watched this weekend for sure.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, another one I'll go back to. I've just remembered. Dog Soldiers.
Right? Yeah, Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers.
Oh, okay.
Dog Soldiers. Have you seen that? The werewolf.
I don't think I have.
What?
It's a fun one.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Okay.
It's like I wouldn't say it's funny as Shaun of the Dead, but there is comedy elements in it. It's like a werewolf version of Shaun of the Dead, but not as much comedy. But there still is the funny bits in it. Fucking terrifying, these werewolves, man. They are one thing that scares me because I don't like dogs myself. Big dogs, big scary fucking things that just eat you. So werewolves is like multiplies that fear by about 100, because they are not nice. We always played this game, especially with the lads when we're drunk, in the pub and we're having a drink. It's like, which one would you prefer? Prefer to get killed by, a werewolf, the alien, the predator. Which one would you prefer? The most cleanest, quickest kill, and it would have to be the predator. Would have to be because he'll finish you the quickest. He'll just shoot you with a plasma ball or rip your head off, whatever.
He's not trying to hurt you. He's just trying to kill you.
Yeah, you're just dead. The alien will fucking spike you, eat you, stick you to a wall and lay eggs on you.
The alien requires your body to reproduce.
Yeah. And a werewolf will literally tear you apart. It's gruesome. So, I don't like the fuckers. Scary.
That's fair. Werewolves have never quite done it for me, even though I love wolves in horror. But then I watched Hemlock Grove. Have you seen that? The series on Netflix?
I think I have. No. I don't know if I have actually. It's ringing the bell. The name rings a bell. I don't know if I've seen it though.
Very like it wasn't maybe as scary as I expected. Some parts were, some parts weren't. But the initial I think it's just the first season is where like werewolves play a part through the entire show. But in the first season, they make it like it's not that it's scary so much in appearance. They make you feel the terror for sure. And the grisly horror and the mauling, being mauled apart, and just the pain of it. The sheer terror of that. Yeah. You feel it.
It's that
Very,
one. It's when they come at you as well. You know, especially the werewolves and dog soldiers. They're huge. They look scary. They're, you know this is not going to be fun.
fair.
You're getting ripped apart. I don't like it. Yeah,
Huh,
but I love
okay.
it. You know, I love to watch it and read it. But yeah,
Yeah,
don't like
let's
them.
check that out. Okay. Yeah, I love going back to good horror. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I mean this is true. It is literally just they intentionally try to match plot points from Superman and make it bad, and it's wonderful. So, talking about Brightburn,
Yeah, I'm definitely watching that again.
yeah. And then
I
if you
forgot all
watch
about
the
it.
end credit scenes, they
Yeah,
like during the credits they show like the equivalent of Aquaman and the equivalent of Wonder
Batman.
Woman, and I don't know, maybe Batman, maybe, but
I
like
think
they
it is. Yeah, there's definitely a Batman or Superman. And then doesn't he come in, the kid, and he starts fighting them or something? Is that right?
uh,
Or
They
I
were
can't
I
they were
can't
going to
quite
set up
recall.
some kind of like dark version of the Justice League
That
or
was the
something like
idea,
that.
yeah. And they show Woody Harrelson as like a kooky like YouTube commentator, and it's really funny. To me, it was like just the best after credit scene I'd ever seen. It was awesome just watching
Was that
Brightburn
James
kid.
Gunn?
Yep, James Gunn.
Was it James Gunn that made that?
James Gunn
Is
did
it?
Brightburn as well.
Yes, that's
Oh,
James Gunn. He
How
didn't
the
direct
hell did
it,
I
but
not know
he
that?
wrote that and produced it, and that's one of his things.
You probably even told me that before, and that's totally I
That's
didn't
that's
register
why
that.
Superman. There's an element in Superman that's
Yeah,
straight from Brightburn
that's fun.
that was very interesting.
That's fun. Okay, that makes me even more
oh, I
excited.
need to look out for
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm genuinely I've ignored reviews. I've ignored comments. I want to give the new Superman a fair shake. So I'm just gonna
It was so fun.
fair.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Superman
liked it.
is it's so fun.
It looks great.
I think Fantastic Four was better. I'm surprised to say.
Really.
Yes, it
Okay.
was not bad at all. Was
Huh.
not bad at
Okay.
all.
Fair.
But
I
it
haven't seen
was
it.
not as fun as Superman was.
Ah. Okay.
Mm.
But I do think it is technically like better.
Interesting. Okay. I'm willing to give it a fair shake. Yeah. I'm less excited for it, but maybe that'll be better. I
That will
like
be
the
excellent. Going
yeah.
into it not excited at all is how you approach Fantastic Four. And then
Fair.
you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that
I
wasn't
like a
bad
good
at
pleasant
all.
surprise.
Yeah, I did that with
It made me
Superman and was
excited for the
pleasantly
next
surprised.
Avengers thing,
Fair.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
which I didn't think was possible.
It's just got Pedro Pascal in it, and he's fucking
He was
everywhere at the
actually, I
minute.
was surprised. I actually liked him as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't quite like him outside of movies, but in movies I don't always hate him. He's been good in some things. I
He
didn't
was.
watch Last of Us, so I don't know.
I was,
But
Don't
I was,
watch Last
I was afraid that
yeah,
No.
they were going to underplay him being smart. But
Mm,
he comes off as a very smart and cold, calculating character. I'm like,
okay.
oh,
That's really
okay.
good to
Hmm.
hear. That was my number one worry. I was like, are they going to totally nerf
Oh
Mr.
no,
Fantastic?
he was the conflict he has with his wife is because he's correct, and everyone's
Uh,
slowly understanding that he is correct. But he knows everyone well enough. He can't come out and say what he's thinking because everyone's going to react very strongly to what he's thinking.
mm.
That was probably the most tense part of the movie was that scene
Oh, okay. That
when
actually sounds
Right.
everyone's catching up with what he's already thinking, and they're like, oh no, you're right. Oh no, you're right. And then everyone's kind of panicking, and that was a great part of the film.
okay.
Hmm. I need
Yeah.
to check that out.
And Johnny
One.
Storm, what's his head from Stranger Things? As
Yeah,
Johnny
yeah, yeah.
Storm was perfect.
Okay.
He was great. I thought the female Silver Surfer was just going to be, just let's make her a woman, but no, there was really good reasons why she's a woman. They chose the
Mhm.
female one, and I liked it a lot.
Fair.
It was good.
Yeah, no, I will absolutely give it a fair shake. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. No, that's I'm trying to think and there's Jurassic Park, but there's another one. There's another more recent movie that I know I need to see.
Naked Gun.
Okay, yeah, Naked Gun. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
There is a few. I've just seen them today. There's a whole list of stuff coming this year, and I forgot them now. I've seen them
Oh,
on
there's
Twitter earlier.
in next month there's a looks like a cheap knockoff of Jurassic Park coming out called Primitive War
Oh yeah, we
that
were
looks
talking about
very
that.
fun.
That looks really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
like
it's
Vietnam War,
dinosaurs in
right?
Vietnam.
Yeah,
What the hell?
These soldiers are sent
it
like
looks awesome.
this whole platoon's gone. You gotta go find them, and they go to this jungle in Vietnam. There's like some secret forbidden jungle, and there's just dinosaurs everywhere. And these Vietnam soldiers have to blow up dinosaurs. It looks fun. It looks actually fun.
Yeah, that one looks legitimately great to me. I want to give that a fair shake. Yeah, I'm not these days. I'm not as into like all the newer Jurassic Parks, but I love spin-offs. I like.
Oh yeah, I mean, it looks so much more interesting than the new Jurassic Park was.
Fair. Yeah, so that'll be fun to see, and it looks like it doesn't look quite like full horror, but it looks like a good dino thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with a heck of a lot of action. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
But weapons looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, weapons is going to be interesting.
I just seen the first, initial trailer that came out, and I went, right, that's it, I'm done. I don't need anything more. And there is a bigger trailer just came out the other day, and I've refused to watch it.
I haven't watched that one. I've seen the first 2 trailers. I don't want to see anything else because I'd rather that second trailer showed I thought too much. I still have no idea what it's about, but I still feel like it showed a little too much.
Well, I wonder if it was that one then. Yeah. So it sounds like you made the right call, Eamonn.
Yeah, no, I'm just leaving it for now. I'm just leaving it. It'll be out soon, and a week. Week next week, is it?
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that will do. Yeah. And then, as I said, Stephen King's got loads of stuff coming out, remakes.
Yeah, The Running Man
and Running Man.
That looks fun.
That book's fun. I love that book. It's so much different to the actual Arnie version that they made, but the book's fantastic, really good, and this one stays true to the book.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it should be really good. And again, Welcome to Derry's coming as well. So
yeah,
what's that
coming out on? Is that
in the freaking Alien TV show?
Oh yeah, the Alien show.
Alien that looks fantastic.
Yeah,
that's soon as well.
Yeah,
and you got Stranger Things
a couple weeks.
The last season.
Yep.
Season 5 in November or something.
Yeah,
so,
I think November, December, and then January, and in 3 batches, I think.
Yep. Yeah, we got a nice little stretch ahead of us.
Yeah, man, horror has been great this year, and it's only there's still a lot to come. So, it's because it's the best genre. That's why.
Yeah,
it's no argument.
It's pretty darn good. Yeah, I'm still upset. Some of the deaths haven't upset me as much as they have others, but you killed Samwise. I'm still not happy about that to the day. That's still for me was
he exists to die though. That's like you don't have that character in that show and not kill him.
I know.
That's the whole reason he's there.
It hurts me.
Poor little sacrificial lamb. Yeah, Stranger Things.
Yeah. Talking Sean Astin's death in Stranger Things.
Yes, that's that's where it went to. Or my mind, because it's been a few years since I've got them all downloaded. I've meant to. I wanted to go through them all again before the final season.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to it yet.
They're fun.
But I might try and get it done. Before it comes out later on in the year,
Yeah, I'm definitely due for a refresher, but yeah.
Oh, and then there's that Predator movie.
Predator
movie's coming out. Yeah, Badlands.
Is that a movie or is it another series?
It's a movie, dude.
Oh, it's a movie.
At first I wasn't so sure, but then I saw the trailer with the girl as the android. I'm like, okay, I'm interested again.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got no legs and he's carrying her around like a backpack.
Yeah, that did look fun. Yes.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
The new animated Predator, whatever it's called. What's it called? There's an animated one. There's
it's like
3 short stories or 4.
Killers or something like that. I haven't watched it yet.
It is amazing. It's brilliant. Really, really good.
All right, I'll check that out.
Very good.
Still Samwise to me, but yeah. Yeah, fair. There was another animated series, like a short one. This is gonna bug me that I saw
Dora
recently.
the Explorer, SpongeBob, Ren and Stimpy.
Nah, it's gone.
Hit Monkey.
Yeah, but it's been a while since I've really gotten into anything more on the animated side. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was quite surprised by the Predator one. I love anything Predator wise. and they did this the animation style, the kills are very visceral, very very
Okay.
good. There's no
Okay, that's
holding
fair.
back, and apparently there's a new ending now as well where
Oh yeah,
Dutch
I read about that. Yeah.
Dutch and what do you call him from part two? Danny Glover's character. I forget his name, but apparently they show up in the new ending of this animated one as well. Because, well, I'll let you watch it and you'll see. It's very
Okay,
very good, very cool.
that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're at about an hour and a half. How are you feeling?
Yeah,
You have anything? So, I mean, yeah, you've got the Veil is going through edits now, and then coming back live. You said in like a few weeks or so.
a few weeks to maybe about a month or so.
Fair, yeah,
I'm gonna get. I think I'm gonna get a revamped, reworked cover. It'll be much the same, but just done in the style of this artist that seems to be making waves through DVS at the minute.
yeah,
She did the Clatterman, as I said. She did Molly's, and I'm
Mm.
definitely going to work with her in my next few. So I think she would do the. It'd be just nice just to give the Veil that touch up. So yeah, I'm doing that. So it shouldn't be too hard to work through those edits and get that back out. But I'm currently 23,000 words into Puddle People, which I'm aiming for 75. So I should have that done in about a month.
fair, yeah,
Um, but when I get that done, I will be going and probably doing the Veil edits. To get that out, and then I'll revisit Puddle People, let that rest for 6 weeks, get the Veil edited, get that out, and then try and get Puddle People out for the end of the year maybe.
yeah,
And then it'll be full steam ahead, writing the second draft of 3 days.
fair,
But
Nice.
fair.
that's the next three. The Veil, Puddle People, and 3 days will be all out in the next 7 to 8 months for sure.
Nice. That's a
Um,
nice trajectory. Yeah,
That's a very good rate.
that's a great pace.
yeah.
Yeah,
Once I get them cleared out of my system, I'm going to because Tina is a very important book. I don't want to go into anything yet. I'll just give you the name: Serial Killers, Time Travel. That's it.
Mm,
But it's going to be it's a big one, very emotional. It's going to be, and I ran by it. The idea. I spoke with Josh from Already Overbooked about it,
okay, yeah,
and he was like, dude, oh, and I went, I know you're the only one that knows about this, so just not leave it for now. But that'll be next year's
fun.
one of next year's books. I want two out next year. You know, try and get two a year.
Yeah,
Excellent.
no, that's
That'll be
awesome.
done.
Yeah,
That'll be
very
done.
cool.
You know.
Well,
That
yeah.
should be fun.
Any last thing you want to plug for now? Then, so I get like, so for now it's just the Ranger that's live. Then, right?
Yeah, the range is live. The Veil will be back, as I say, in about a month or so,
Yeah,
and Puddle People will be later this year, and I imagine then I'm going to go big again with 3 days early next year, maybe March, around about
fair.
then, March, April. It's a big book, so there's going to be a lot of work. But while that's edited and away from me again, I'll be cracking on with Tina, so I imagine that'll be written by April, May. So
Fair.
a nice summer launch. I must remember that and set it in summer. Anyway, so yeah, cranking on, and but in the meantime, there's the guys have got loads of books. Andrew's just released Toadhead, on
Yeah.
DVS, which is excellent. I read a snippet. I've got it there. Corvina's just released Having Sam for Dinner.
Yes, that was the
SS
title. That was the title. Yeah,
Yep,
I'm trying to
SS
remember earlier.
Fitzgerald is just
Mm,
released Alone Together, his zombie epic.
yeah.
I think he's on book 4 already, so he's got a whole series
Wow.
going on.
Wow.
Yeah, he's only just released the first one, so I hope
Yeah,
that really picks up for him. It's doing well so far.
and that feels like a big
Every
shift because he had. I have it here, don't I? Yeah, he had a Full to
Sinner's
Extinction,
Pass,
right?
a full to extinction, Sinner's
And then
Pass.
Sinner's Pass. Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
this is a big shift.
So, but his is because he's I think he's ex-military, so his Alone Together is very military. You know, that kind of that side of
Okay.
it, that from that point of view, but also
Yeah.
told in real, and it's quite, yeah, it's lovely. It's quite panoramic, stretching across the US
Mm,
as well. So yeah, it's going good. Hope it goes well for him. Corvina's cracking on with her new book. Blake's cracking on with his. Yeah, everybody is. I mean, Molly has got um Dark Bloom 2
The
and
Dark
her
Moon
new
sequel,
novella
yeah.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So DVS.
Yeah, so lots
all the
available
rest.
at the DVS, Dark Veil Society.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and then you guys, it just the competition that was going on just wrapped up, right? Yeah. So yeah, was it Clatterman that won? It was Clatterman that won, right?
It was Clatterman, yeah. It was just
That's
like
what I
a
thought.
little fun competition between all the books and people. We voted the authors, and then um our fans, our readers on Twitter, they all voted too. I
Yep.
think already overbooked. Josh, I think he won 60 points, and I'm not sure. I think Blake might have won it from our side. I'm not sure. But it was close all the way through. It was a bit fun. But we've got other competitions. We've got two, but I think the next one is quite a big one in the pipeline, which we're working on at the minute. And it's going to. I can't say anything about it, but
Yeah.
it's bigger than the one we just did. And then we've got another fun one that I came up with, which I want to get out there soon, because after I think the latest one, but it's going to be quite fun. I imagine it will cause a little bit of fighting on Twitter, which is always nice. But
Creates
friendly.
one way to make
Good
traction.
for publicity.
Yeah.
Friendly banter, friendly fighting. Nothing. No heads being lopped off or anything yet.
Fingers crossed. That's awesome. Yeah, like that kind of thing. I love seeing that you guys have been doing. It's cool. It gets people involved. I was always, making sure I got my vote in for them. So it was fun.
We're not just. I mean, we're everybody's working hard, writing. We're producing the material.
Yeah.
But we want to do. We want to do more than that. Give back as well, and interact with everybody. And it's not just a Discord group. I'm not messing around when it comes to DVS. So there's a lot in the pipeline, a lot of serious work going on behind the scenes to build up what we want to achieve. So just watch the space. And thanks everyone for the support. So far it's been great, and I hope you just enjoy our books and just keep reading and keep us going. And it'd be great one day if we could make a living out of it. Instead of
that's the dream.
Yeah,
that's the dream. Yep, that is.
That's
the
a
dream.
great way to
Not
get
even. Not even millions, just enough to pay the mortgage and something steady. You can live basically, which would be amazing one day. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Got to crank out those books to get there, right?
Yeah. One at a time, one day at a time, one book at a time. Yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So I feel like that's a good point to end it on. Hey, everybody. Check out DVS. Check out Eamonn's books. I guess The Ranger for now. And quite a few more coming obviously very soon, and the Veil coming back up, 3 days coming soon. Lots of great things coming. So yeah, well, thank you so much, Eamonn, for joining us. And great timing. Okay, well, we'll see if Eamonn comes back in the meantime, but yeah, cheers everybody, and we'll have another show I believe next Thursday. So we'll see you in a week. Thanks everyone for coming. The usual drill: like, subscribe, follow, all that good